So today, we are making what I consider to be the perfect potato side dish. We're talking Spanish Patatas Panaderas. These are the potatoes that they serve as a side dish at almost every restaurant here in Spain. And let me tell you, these potatoes, they have such a beautiful flavor and they work perfect next to any protein. Folks, it doesn't get any better than this. A classic Spanish dish that is very easy to make, no tricky skills to put it together, and is made with the most humble ingredients. Let's begin by peeling between 2 to 3 medium-sized potatoes. Now these are new potatoes, but you can use whichever potatoes you like. And as you can see, I'm peeling the potatoes as that's how you make this dish traditionally. But if you prefer, you can keep the skins on the potato. Once the potatoes have been peeled, I'm going to give them a quick rinse under some cold running water and pat them completely dry. And we're going to cut our potatoes into thin slices. They're about 1/8 of an inch thick, which equals 1/2 centimeter. You can also use a mandolin here, but make sure the potatoes are not too thin. Then I'm going to grab an oven-proof casserole dish. This one is 12 inches by 9 inches, which is 30 centimeters by 22 centimeters. Drizzle it with a little extra virgin olive oil and brush it all around. This is such an important step. That way when you add the potatoes in there and you bake them, they're not stuck to the casserole dish. And I'm going to start adding the slices of potato into the casserole dish. I like to add them in there in layers as it gives it a beautiful design and it also ensures that they're all evenly cooked. But if you prefer, you can just add all your sliced potatoes into the casserole dish and make sure you mix them all around and they're evenly spread out. That way they all evenly cook. For the next ingredient, I'm going to grab 1/2 of a brown onion. Like I always tell you, I like to remove between 1 to 2 of the outer layers as it gives the onion a better texture and it makes it so much easier to cut. And I'm going to thinly slice the onion. And before you add the sliced onion into the casserole dish, make sure to mix them around. That way when you add them over the potatoes, they're evenly spread out. Then I'm going to grab 1 head of garlic and I'm going to cut a slit on each clove of garlic. That way once they're cooked, you can easily remove them from the skin. Now to make this recipe, I like to leave the skins on the garlic as it gives them a beautiful buttery texture and it also ensures that the garlics are not going to overcook, which gives them a bitter flavor. And we'll spread the garlics over the potatoes and the onions. Then I'm going to drizzle some extra virgin olive oil over the ingredients. Remember to be generous here. This is what's going to cook and flavor all these ingredients. Then we'll season everything with sea salt, freshly cracked black pepper, a sprinkle of dried thyme, and a sprinkle of dried rosemary. Now you can use whatever dried herbs you want here, but the combination of these two is what is typically most used to make this dish here in Spain. We'll cover the casserole dish with some foil paper. And we'll add our casserole dish into a preheated oven, bake and broil option. That's the bottom heat and top heat, 190 degrees Celsius, which is 375 degrees Fahrenheit. After about 45 minutes, I'm going to remove the casserole dish from the oven, remove the foil paper, grab about 1/4 cup of white wine, pour the white wine into the casserole dish, making sure you evenly spread it around. And once again, we'll add the casserole dish back into the oven, this time uncovered. And we're going to raise the heat from 190 degrees to 210 degrees Celsius, which is about 425 degrees Fahrenheit, and go for about 15 minutes. And once again, we're on the bake and broil option, bottom and top heat. If your oven can't do both functions at the same time, no big deal. Just bake them for an extra 5 to 10 minutes. After about 15 minutes, these potatoes should be perfectly cooked. I'm going to remove them from the oven. And we'll sprinkle it with some freshly chopped parsley, folks. Check it out. Our patatas panaderas are done. Such a simple dish, but the aromas coming out of it between those herbs and that white wine are absolutely amazing. As always, let's give this a try and see how it tastes. These patatas panaderas came out looking so good. Here we go. So good. I'm gonna try one of these garlics. Look how easy it comes out. Incredible buttery texture. You know, it's one of the most classic potato dishes that hail from Spain, and what really makes it special is that white wine, which, by the way, white wine is not your thing. You can totally substitute it for broth, but that wine combining with those spices and herbs, it truly is an explosion of so much goodness. You saw this, so easy to make, very humble ingredients. These potatoes work perfect with any protein, breakfast, lunch, or dinner, doesn't matter when. One of the best things that hail from Spain. Really quick before I go, a shout out to a couple of my patrons, Martin John Manson, the Stewix family, and Tommy Williams. Once again, guys, thank you so much for being patrons of Spain on a Fork. You know how much I appreciate you. For the rest of you, if you're not with me on Patreon, consider becoming one. Helps with ingredients and equipment to continue making videos like this. You'll find my Patreon link in the description box below and iCard above. If you enjoyed today's video, hit that like button. Leave me a comment below, and if you're not subscribed, smash that subscribe button. Till the next time, hasta luego.